Which school are you opting for? As a ninth grader, this may be a question that we have likely heard. Since the major test for secondary schoolers is on the COTS, which is the high school examination, many ninth graders are racking their brains for their future institution. Amongst many options ranging from normal school to specialized school, foreign language specialized school, aka CNN, has made its seats in the midst of the top-ranking high schools in the region. Especially with its students' innumerable achievement and extracurricular activities, it promises an intellectual and dynamic environment for ninth graders. With our team's experience there as a student for over a year, let's discuss on whether should this school be a good option for ninth graders. Firstly, one of the most necessitated aspects, as it may have lifetime impacts, is irrefutably CNN's academic potential. Like, can it provide students with sufficient opportunities to broaden their knowledge?
It can indeed. In case you're wondering, the academic workload in this school is insanely huge. It therefore provides students with knowledge and experiences amassed and refined throughout years of teaching and studying. Here, educators are obviously qualified, passionate, and professional. Not only do they pay extremely close attention to every student, but they also invest their time and effort in every lesson to inculcate a sense of comfort and belonging in students. It suffices to say, if CNN is a second home to students, teachers here are their beloved parents who are dedicated to shaping their children into all-round and full-fledged humans.
It seems that the relationship between teachers and students here are pretty close, right? Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, the relationships are very close. It feels like being in a family more than in a classroom, in which thus teachers are your parents and your peers your siblings. Of course, as do families, we do have times when things go wrong and we come into conflicts, but everything works out just right.
I agree with you on that. Though specialized in language, CNN aims to cultivate fully rounded students that can perform in different fields. And students can also learn from the native teachers as well, which for me personally has an immense impact on the way I think in English. Because thinking in Vietnamese is different from thinking in English. I have learned a lot from my teacher's comments on my essay, from word usage to how to make the writing easy to understand. CNN gives me much better opportunities, academic opportunities to be exact, than what I could have had in other public schools, especially the subject I specialize in. And yes, it is absolutely true that the academics pressure sits above average, but I take it as an opportunity to balance study and life.
So how about its extracurriculars? Specialized schools are well known for their heavy curriculum, right? Just like you said, Tien said earlier, what does CNN offer to balance out the academic tension?
Well, a specialized school like CNN will undoubtedly have an extremely tiring schedule. At one point, it was even referred to as a 13 subjects specialized school because of its demanding study program. Like any other specialized school, well, we're prone to peer pressure, as getting in here isn't easy, of course. Everyone here is like those few talented students in our city, so the competition is rough. Looking around and seeing everyone with like IELTS above 8.0 or like trying to complete their SAT homework will make you feel a little bit nervous and inferior every so often. And then above everything, specialized school have special policies, of course. and CNN is no exception. If you cannot meet their requirements, you will see yourself being kicked out at the end of term. So as a result, we're forced to study hard to maintain the highest grades possible, and some might find a bit of difficulty dealing with this. But fortunately, CNN also offers a few ways to balance out this pressure. You can look out to the 20 clubs of our schools, and if you successfully pass the even more stressful than exams interviews, you may find yourself securing a spot in these clubs. And if you're antisocial, no worries. You do not have to be in a club to have fun, because CNN offers a lot of projects in place of exams, which may give you that little boost in grades if you're hardworking and have great teammates. We'll also have the annual trip to a National Defense Education Center in like the middle of nowhere, and the 2-day 1-night trip to another province in Vietnam to study history, geography, and laws in a creative and interactive way.
As you say, there are some projects in lieu of a regular test in CNN, right? What if it doesn't help students, but instead backfire, like overwhelm them with even more arduous tasks?
Well, I must admit that the activities I mentioned above will not help the pressure in CNN less intense, but it will entertain you in some way, right? Like rather than just study and take tests like every other school. It is not uncommon to see CNers being tired of projects, but generally they give you higher grades. So I'll say it's worth it, especially if you're planning to study abroad sometimes in the future.
Yeah, thank you. So the last question we will be having today is what actually makes CNN special, like makes CNN stand out?
I think I'll go first. So just bear in mind that I was not born and raised in Hanoi. The main reason I came to this city is to get better academic opportunities, and CNN seems to be the perfect choice. The exam preparation is long, yes, and arduous, but I don't regret it now that I am a student at CNN. That is to say, despite its drawbacks, CNN is without doubt better than many other schools out there, especially for students in small cities like myself. And for me, the CNN social circle is really, really cool. Students don't just belong to one particular group of friends. They also have lots of acquaintances who might over time become best buds. The extracurricular activities is surely one of a kind. The most prominent of which is 10+, which aims to help freshmen to kind of acclimatize themselves to the new school. So in 10+, all students or freshmen are divided into orientation groups, also known as the OGs. Each OG has students from every single class to, well, helps us make friends from every single class there is. The official camp day takes place from early morning to late night, which I find myself enjoying it from start to beginning. This year's 10+ runs from early morning to 11 p.m. late at night, which is not something protective Asian parents are used to. So yeah, it breaks the norm, and it was crazy fun. It was crazy fun.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. To be honest, I think a very important aspect that should not be overlooked is the relationships you make in CNN. It's friendship, it's comradeship, it's family, you name it. It helps you overcome stressful times and helps you adapt to the environment here. For me, prior to becoming a CNNer, what I looked forward to the most were the clubs. As Queen has mentioned, there's a wide range of 20 clubs you can opt for during the first term, and you could never have imagined how ecstatic I was when I got admitted to the pencil club. The management board and the active members were so kind and friendly as to introduce me to everyone else in the club and organize games for us to get all along. I really appreciated that, and I developed quite a close rapport with others. For me, what makes CNN exceptional as a school, as far as I'm concerned, is its uniqueness. Like, have you ever seen a high school in Vietnam with so many extracurricular activities, yet whose most students still excel at every subject?
In my opinion, what makes CNN stand out from other schools is its concept. A specialized school in Vietnam is already rare enough, but one focusing on languages, it's even more special. And indeed, it's the only high school in Vietnam that does so. So I think if you're looking for an environment specializing in learning languages, be sure to not miss out CNN.
Thank you so much for today. I hope in our discussion, ninth graders would find it easier to choose their high school.